What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. Yesterday, winning day. It didn't look like it was going to be early, right? They're 50% from three, both teams. But that second half, once the game was kind of out of hand, was a lot more to my liking. So, 1-0 day yesterday. We'll see if we can keep it going here today. Vino, how was everything for you yesterday?
Was good, Skee. I had 1-0 as well. We kind of tag teamed that game. I mentioned it here. I liked Dallas first half in that one. Thought Las Vegas might be a little bit flat. They were more than flat. Flat enough for Becky to slam that that board on the floor and get all PO'd at everybody. Once I had first half in tow, I was definitely rooting for you to get that under. So again, we tag team that game. Got winners on both ends. So it was a nice day, obviously. We'll see if we can repeat that here today.
It's funny. We broke it down yesterday, right? And I told you about the interview after the last time they played the Wings. It sounded exactly the same. They were asking her what went wrong with the defense. She's like, "We gave up the paint. We gave up the three. We gave up the pick and roll, the mid range. We didn't play any defense." That's what she said.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's 4 games in a row for them where they've just been annihilated defensively. They can score, so they've been able to, make their way through. But last night, Dallas got to them quick.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on the Aces in the near future. We do have them playing tomorrow, so we'll get to look at them versus the Mercury. But for today, we only have one game. That's the Tempo and the Fever. And this one opened up -8. I do see some eights out there, or actually, maybe the consensus is actually eight. It's between 7.5 and 8, depending where you shop. As far as the total, it has gone up from 176.5. I'm seeing as high as 180 out there at a couple shops. Let's take a look at the injuries and let me actually refresh here. So for Toronto, Kiki Rice is out and Nayara Sabali is out. Caitlin Clark is probably probable here. Yeah, Caitlin Clark is probable. Raven Johnson is truly questionable. I have to start off and say I agree with the move on the total going up. I mean, what we've seen so far from the Tempo, they're fine playing with pace. They don't play a whole lot of defense, and the Fever, they have stretches where they can play defense, but sometimes they don't play the best defense either. I could understand. When I look at this matchup, the first thing I think is over the total. Do you agree, Rob?
It's hard not to. A lot of matchup reasons why as well. And of course, we have Sophie Cunningham to tell us about a week and a half ago that, hey, we only play one style of defense. So once they figure it out, we're kind of screwed. Toronto, like you say, Skee, they've been able to find their way to this number quite a bit. I'm a big bounce back guy. They did not have a good shooting game. Their last game, they got blown out by the Dream. Give you some quick numbers here. Marina Mabry, 2 for 7, or 2 for 11, excuse me, from the field, 2 for 7 from three. Her and Brittany Sykes have absolutely carried this team offensively for the most part, and it's done with pace, like you say. But they just get killed inside. They were out rebounded again in that game, 42-22. Little bit of trouble underneath. Had a little animosity between a couple players there. But I just, Indiana rebounds well enough to me and plays well enough inside the paint to be able to score on Toronto. And Toronto gets out into the open and shoots threes well enough to score on Indiana. I will say this, Indiana's been a great first half team if we break this down even further. They've been a bad second half team, a good first half team, 8-3-1 against the number in the first half are the Fever. So I would expect maybe they get out to a quick start again. Toronto hasn't been very good in the first half, especially scoring. Their scoring and the majority of their game scoring has come in the second half of their games. I mean, just look at the last four, 93 points in the second half combined, 94, 105, 105, 72 in one game against Chicago, then 92, 112, 91. So I think we could expect a high scoring second half where Toronto's concerned. And maybe this is kind of a split game where Indiana gets out quick. Toronto closes the gap late. I think we saw a little bit of a push toward Toronto really early this morning, Skee. I think I saw it get down to as low as 7, come back up since then. But back to your point about over, it's hard to disagree. Both teams have advantages. The way they like to score, they can score, and the pace is going to be there. And Toronto just basically their second half average points scored in the second half is huge. So I wouldn't want to be on under. I agree with the pushing this thing up to 79 and a half. Now we have to get to 80. Everything has to go right to get to 80. But in tempo games, they seem to find their way.
Yeah, that's what we've seen, especially on the road for the tempo. Sidewise, I like what you said. Fever have been really good, early starters. So maybe look at them first half, and if it does get out of hand, maybe tempo fight back, or Fever just take their foot off the gas. Maybe that's the way to look at the tempo second half. A lot of different ways to look at this game, and I feel like we already did a solid enough job. So it is good old $5 Tuesday. So you can go to either Rob Veno or my page, and you'll find the top bet for just $5. Good way to check either one of us out. Outside of that, we'll put the usual up there to buy 3 days, get three free. Comes out to 6 days for just $69. That's also a great way to be involved. And Vino, on that note, well, we're not doing best bets. It's $5 Tuesday. We don't do best bets on $5 Tuesday. It's only $5. You can go check it out over there. I know that basketball has been good for me, up over a little bit over 100 units so far 2026. Try to keep that going. Anything else you want to add, Vino, before we get out of here?
Yeah, no, again, $5 Tuesday and only one game on the board where the two of us are concerned. I don't handicap MLB, so I have one game to choose from today, and it is the WNBA. So $5 Tuesday, check it out over at wagertalk.com. And we'll get back to best bets tomorrow because there's 6 games. It's a huge card tomorrow in the W.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow. We'll have some more things to share. And also, I'll just let you know, if you want to get a head start on tomorrow, I do have a 5% up and available. And I've only had 15 going back to 2024 in the WNBA. I'm 10-5. So if you want to get a head start, it's up and available on my page. Vino, always appreciate you taking the time to catch these games with me. Always helps my process. I'm sure we help everybody else out there. Chat, we appreciate you all as well. We'll do this again tomorrow with some more games to talk about. And best of luck until then.